Hey, what's up, everybody? This is David with Jewish Dad today, trying my best to make something happen here with the summer that I have, taking a break off from teaching, and gives me a chance to work on some of my different projects that I have. One of them is collecting information about parenting, Judaism, and promoting my book, Not a Lone Soldier, that I completed last summer. So it's good to have some time here to be with everybody and to try to work with the technology available on Facebook and YouTube, sharing things that are close to my heart. It's therapeutic for me when I'm when I'm when I'm able to share what's close to my heart. And I think parenting is definitely the number one thing that's going on for me right now as a teacher now on vacation. And every day I'm facing challenges with my kids and just how I go about it. It's good for me to share it and to share what I'm learning. And I think that the one thing that is most important right now that I see is something I'm reading in a book called Hold On to Your Kids by Gordon Neufeld. It's something that I posted on my website, and I think it's good that along with the writing about it that to also make a video about it, because you can hear it more from my heart. It's all about connection before direction, and it's about how to handle different behavior issues with your kids in the moment. A lot of people, they like to be snip it in the butt, that kind of attitude, taking care of things right away. And if you see your kids out of line, automatically be strict with them. But I think that the more that we're strict, the more that the relationship is on edge, and the kids can feel it. And we as parents, we want to make sure that our kids are with us. There's so many different distractions for them, and they're looking for love, and they have issues with their self-esteem, and they want to feel like they're a winner, and they want to feel like they're loved. So the more that we're strict with our kids, the more it kind of like rubs off that relationship. And we want to make sure that connection stays strong, even if things are not as the way that we want it to be in that moment. It's all about how we handle those different situations. So when something comes up, something's bothering you, the kids are making a mess, they're making too much noise, they're whatever they're doing, in those situations, you have like two paths. And before I even mention it, I think that the most important thing is just prayer. The way that we show ourselves to our kids and the way that we act, it's all about being a role model to them. But really, day to day, that's what's beautiful about Judaism, is that it's a daily requirement to pray. And as part of those prayers, that come from your heart, to just be the parent that you can be, the good parent that you can be. That's what is needed the most. Just to be able to put it out there in the spiritual world, and to pray and to ask Hashem, to ask God not to react, in a negative way to your kids, even when they're upsetting you and driving you up really challenging you, to just be able to take a deep breath and handle it in the right way. Because if you're too strict, they're gonna look for that love elsewhere, and it's out there. The kids at their schools, they're gonna want to be less around you as their parents, and the more that stress comes into their life at an early age, so like you're kind of severing that relationship. And it's so important to correct behavior, but the way that we do it that's the main issue. And what we have to remember is that it's about how we react. We can react or we can respond. So I see in this book that I love reading, Hold On to Your Kids by Gordon Neufeld, he brings a story about a father who, his son was playing in the pool with his friends and his sister, and everything was fine until he took like one of those big noodles, and he started smacking it on his sister and her friends, completely, you know, it happens. But then the father, he was upset at him, and he told him to to get out of the pool, immediately, and to go to his room. And that's called like separation, grounding, or going to timeout. And that's already, those kind of actions put the kid on the edge and sever like the relationship. And the author of the book, Gordon Neufeld, he goes about saying that what he should have done is to I forgot to mention something. After the kid didn't want to come out of the pool, the father got angry and he jumped in the pool. Okay, and he took the kid out of the pool and brought him up to his room, and he said that he needed to stay there. Okay, so you can imagine like the stress that happened in that. Like the father in his clothes, he jumped in the pool, picked up the kid, brought him upstairs, put him in his room, and said, "You just got to think about what he did." And it's you can only imagine like the anger that was going on in that situation. But in that, what the author says that what he could have done is, it says he could have just said, "Hey, Johnny, looks like you're having a lot of fun right there. Okay, but that kind of game we don't want to do when we have guests over. Let's do a noodle war when it's just us two in the pool, right?" So it's like two different approaches. The one hand, he's like a dictator. He's trying to just get his way. He's trying to improve the kid's behavior right away. So he jumps in, breaks it out. And that's gonna, if those actions keep happening, that's gonna traumatize the kid. It's gonna not make that connection strong between him and his father. And we've all failed. We've all had successes. We've all had failures. But I think that really for us to be more on that second approach, where we're less ego, more coming from the heart, the neshama, the soul, more lighthearted, it's more effective. But I think to get there, it takes a lot of what's called in Hebrew bitul, which means like canceling yourself, meaning what is really our priority? Is it checking our WhatsApp every 5 minutes, checking our emails every so often? And it's not simple. Not everyone has the privilege of being like a teacher where you have like vacation. That's why I get to work on this project right now, is just I'm only like a dad right now. And I've got lots of projects in my own spare time. I want to learn things about high tech and write another book, and prepare for next year. But it doesn't, the time is so limited and there's so many different distractions that come. So like when you're with your kids, are you really there? So I think that to really be there, it takes like prayer, and only God can give us that koach, that strength to be able to handle the different challenges that come up between a marriage, between your day-to-day, between handling the different pressures and handling the different personalities of our kids. And if we do pray and we ask Hashem for that koach, we're going to see results, because that's exactly what he wants. He commands us to have a connection with our kids, to teach them the proper path. So if we're asking him, to have mercy on us, to give us that strength, to become less egotistical, and to be there truly for them, we'll see great results. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to check out my website, Jewish Dad Today. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you tuning in.